Hannah Brooks sat in a sleek Chicago boardroom, reviewing contracts for a massive merger deal. At 34, she had become one of the most respected lawyers at her firm. Her phone buzzed silently beside her laptop. A text from her father, Richard Brooks, lit up the screen. "Don't come to the family reunion. We're cutting ties." 14 words. That was all it took to end 34 years of family expectations. She stared at it, her finger hovering over the screen. Slowly she typed one word, "Understood." No emotion, no argument. Just clarity. She looked up, smiled professionally at the client across the table and said, "Shall we continue?" No one in the room knew she had just made a life-altering decision to remove her name from her father's $1.5 million business loan. Where are you watching from today? Kindly hit like, comment and subscribe to this channel for more. Growing up in Beacon Hill, Boston, Hannah's life had always looked perfect from the outside. Her family lived in a grand 4-story brownstone with shiny brass fixtures and a manicured garden. Her father owned a successful real estate business, Brooks and Company, while her mother, Eleanor, managed their social life like it was a full-time job. "Shoulders back, Hannah," her mother whispered during charity galas. "Hannah, your grades are good, but Ryan just made the honor society," her father would say. Her older brother, Ryan, was always center stage. Hannah, bookish and quiet, was never quite what her parents had imagined. She questioned things. She wanted fairness, not appearances. And that made her difficult. At 12, Hannah won a statewide essay competition. A local newspaper requested an interview. Her mother scheduled a hair appointment for the same time. "The Brooks family must look presentable," Eleanor said, brushing Hannah's hair with sharp strokes. "Your achievement reflects on all of us." In the photo published the next day, Ryan stood front and center, though it had been Hannah's award. Later, when she applied to Yale Law School, her father insisted Harvard business would be better, closer to home. But she wanted distance. When Yale accepted her, she told them she'd cover the difference beyond her scholarship. "We'll pay," her father said. "But bring that degree back to Brooks and Company." He didn't. She worked 3 jobs and paid her way. Holiday dinners were always tense. Her father praised Ryan's business deals, then turned to Hannah with, "Pass the potatoes." Her academic awards were never mentioned. After law school, Ryan joined the family business as vice president. Hannah took a position at Caldwell and Price, a top law firm in Chicago. When she graduated, her parents showed up late and left early to attend Ryan's networking event. "Chicago's so far," her mother had said. "There are good firms in Boston." "This is my dream job," Hannah replied. "Ryan is working for what matters, family," her father responded. But in Chicago she finally breathed. Her apartment was modest, but it was hers. No more whispers about posture. No more side comments about disappointing choices. 6 months later, Hannah met Jordan, a high school English teacher, at a charity event. He worked with first-generation students and had a warm, genuine laugh. They hit it off quickly. When Thanksgiving rolled around, she brought him home to Boston. That's when everything unraveled. "A teacher," Eleanor muttered, after Jordan took a phone call from a worried student. "Hannah, you could have done better. Why limit yourself?" "He's not limited, Mom. He makes a difference," Hannah replied. "At what salary?" her father added. "How will he support your future?" "Not everything is about money," she snapped. Richard chuckled. "Easy to say when you've never had to worry about it." The irony burned. She had paid her way through law school. Her parents hadn't noticed. That evening, back in her childhood bedroom, Hannah sat on the edge of the bed, tears silently running down her cheeks. Jordan sat beside her and gently wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "They'll never accept me," she whispered. "No matter what I achieve, it's never enough." Jordan didn't try to fix it. He simply held her. "That's their failure, not yours," he said softly. "I see you, Hannah. And what I see is extraordinary." The next morning they left a day early. As they were saying goodbye, Eleanor looked at Hannah's dress and said, "Think about what you're doing with your life. Ryan is already a partner and engaged to Caroline. You're not getting any younger." Hannah didn't answer. She didn't have the energy to fight. Back in Chicago, Hannah threw herself into work. Within 2 years she was promoted to senior associate, faster than anyone in firm history. She called her parents to share the news. Her mother's voice was polite. "That's nice, dear. Did you hear Ryan and Caroline are expecting? The baby shower will be at the Bradford estate. The comparisons stung. Months passed. Then one day her father called with a small favor. Brooks and Company was taking out a $1.5 million loan for a new commercial property. The bank needs a co-signer, he said. Your credit score is perfect. Jordan was skeptical. Why can't Ryan co-sign, he asked. Because Ryan's investments are tied up, Hannah replied, unsure if that was even true. Against her better judgment, she agreed. Family helps family, her father had said. Looking back, Hannah realized that was the only time her father had truly praised her, when he needed her name on a loan. Not for her degree, not for her legal work, not for anything else. Just her credit score. 3 weeks before the family reunion, Hannah and Jordan were invited to a celebration dinner at a luxury hotel in Boston. Ryan and Caroline had just announced their pregnancy. The event was elegant, complete with rooftop views and champagne fountains. Hannah wore a navy cocktail dress. When they arrived, Eleanor air-kissed her cheeks. That dress is bold, she commented. Didn't I send you the color scheme? No, Hannah replied. You didn't. Her mother shrugged. Well, everyone else figured it out. Dinner was exactly what Hannah expected. Endless praise for Ryan. Ryan just landed the Bradford account, Richard announced. And with the baby coming, the Brooks legacy is secure. Hannah smiled politely even as her stomach churned. No one mentioned her recent legal win. No one asked about the billion-dollar merger she was leading. Caroline turned to her and asked sweetly, will you and Jordan be at the family reunion next month? It's going to be featured in Boston Living. 3 generations of elite families. Hannah blinked. Family reunion? She asked. I haven't heard anything about it. A silence fell over the table. Eleanor spoke quickly. Didn't we mention it? Must have slipped my mind. It's at the Cape House, 4th of July weekend. Hannah knew they hadn't told her. Later that night, while waiting for their coats, Hannah and Jordan overheard voices down the hallway. Her father's voice was unmistakable. We thought it best not to invite Hannah and her teacher to the reunion. The governor's attending and so is the Merrick boy from Goldman Sachs. It has to be the right atmosphere. But she's your daughter, Ryan said. Shouldn't she be there? She's made her choices, Eleanor replied smoothly. We support her, but this event is about legacy. Hannah stood frozen. Jordan returned with their coats and found her staring out the window at the skyline. They're ashamed of us, she said quietly. And they're lying to everyone about why I'm not invited. Back in Chicago, Hannah buried herself in the biggest case of her career, the Willis merger. 80-hour workweeks helped distract her from the ache in her chest. When her team officially secured the deal, the entire firm celebrated. Patricia, her boss, called her into the office. This is excellent work, Hannah, she said, sliding a folder across the desk. We're recommending you for early partner consideration. Joy bubbled up, but as Hannah reached for her phone to call her parents, her hand froze. She put the phone down. They wouldn't care. Instead she called Jordan. You did it, he said, thrilled. We're celebrating tonight. His genuine pride made her throat tighten. The love she'd been chasing all her life had never come from her family. It had been in front of her all along. That weekend, while prepping documents for the final signing, Hannah saw a post on her cousin Amy's Instagram. A stack of fancy envelopes tied with gold ribbon. Can't wait for the Brooks reunion, the caption read. Everyone had received a formal invitation. Everyone but Hannah. The following Monday, Hannah was leading a meeting at the law firm. Her presentation was sharp, focused on projected revenue from the Willis deal. As she spoke, her phone buzzed. She saw her father's name on the screen and instinctively looked down. The message read, "Don't try coming to the family reunion. Your mother and I have decided it's best we cut ties for now. Ryan agrees." Blood rushed to her face. Hannah kept talking, finishing her slide without missing a beat. No one in the room had any idea her family had just disowned her by text. 45 minutes later, the meeting ended. Patricia gave her a smile. "You nailed it, Hannah. Everything okay? You look a little pale." "Just a headache," Hannah lied. She walked calmly to the restroom, locked the stall and let the tears fall. She gave herself exactly 3 minutes. Memories flooded back. Birthdays her parents had skipped, graduations they left early, holidays where she was treated like an afterthought. At the fourth minute she wiped her face, fixed her makeup and returned to her office. She had made a decision. Her name was still attached to that $1.5 million loan. If her family wanted to cut ties, then so be it. She'd make the separation legal too. That lunch break she called her personal attorney, Jennifer Cole. 3 years ago, I co-signed a business loan for my father's company, Hannah explained. I want out. Jennifer reviewed the documents. Technically you're just a guarantor, but yes, you're still on the hook for the full amount if they default. What's the process to remove myself? Hannah asked. Jennifer outlined the steps. Notify the lender, require the business to refinance or replace her with another guarantor. It could cause some headaches for Brooks and Company, Jennifer warned. Do it, Hannah said. Draft the paperwork. I'll sign it tomorrow. That night over dinner she told Jordan. He leaned back. Are you sure? They cut me off, she replied. I'm just returning the favor. No, I'm protecting myself. The next morning Hannah walked into Jennifer's office and signed the documents without hesitation. Are you sure? Jennifer asked again. Hannah nodded. Never been more sure of anything. Later that day they met with the loan officer at the bank, Mr. Norton. He was polite but clearly uneasy. You're within your rights, he said. But it will trigger clauses that require your father to provide new collateral. I understand, Hannah replied, steady and calm. There's been no missed payments, right? None, he confirmed. But your guarantee got them the best rates. After he left to make copies, Hannah stared out the window at the towering Brooks and Company headquarters just 3 blocks away. A building she had never been welcomed into. Not even once. Jennifer sat beside her and gently said, You're doing the right thing, Hannah. I've seen their numbers. They'll be fine. This won't bankrupt them, it'll just force your father to finally stand on his own. Hannah nodded but still asked, Then why did he need me at all? Jennifer hesitated. I suspect he was over-leveraged. Your signature helped him hide that from the bank. He needed your credit to keep his image intact. The truth hit harder than Hannah expected. She had never been needed for who she was, only for what she could provide. When Mr. Norton returned, she signed the final page of the release agreement. The bank will notify Brooks and Company in the morning, he said. Thanks, Hannah said. I'm ready. That night Hannah shared everything with Jordan over a quiet dinner at home. He listened, his expression unreadable until she finished. I support you completely, he said. But are you okay? I think so, she replied. For once it feels like I'm not waiting for them to change. I've taken control of the situation. She slept deeply that night. No dreams of awkward family dinners or stinging disapproval. The next morning at precisely 9:17 a.m. Eastern Time, the Brooks family received notification from the bank that Hannah had removed herself as guarantor. By lunchtime in Chicago her phone had 17 missed calls. Her father, her mother, Ryan, and even numbers she didn't recognize. But Hannah stayed focused, calmly eating her salad between client calls. The voicemails were full of anger and panic. Her father's voice was clipped. Call me immediately. What you've done is unacceptable. Her mother's voice trembled. You're putting everything at risk. Your father is devastated. Ryan's was sharp. Becca, what the hell? You've made a mess. A man named Edward, their accountant, even called. This is a serious financial matter. Please return my call. Hannah didn't respond to any of them. For the first time, a Brooks family meltdown wasn't her responsibility. Her assistant poked her head in. There's a man online too. Says he's your father's lawyer. Take a message, Hannah said without looking up. I've got real clients to deal with. By mid-afternoon her phone was still buzzing with calls. Alicia, one of her colleagues, walked into her office with a confused look. There are 2 people in the lobby asking for you. Older couple. Pretty upset. Hannah's chest tightened. It's my parents, she said quietly. Alicia raised an eyebrow. Want me to tell them you're in meetings all day? Technically true. Hannah smiled faintly. No. Ask security to escort them out. They don't have an appointment and I don't owe them my time. 20 minutes later, Alicia returned with wide eyes. That got intense. Your dad threatened to call our managing partner. Security had to step in. Hannah sighed. Sorry they caused trouble. Alicia shrugged. You handled it like a boss. By 5 p.m. Hannah's phone showed over 60 missed calls. The final one came from the office of her firm's managing partner. "Your father called here," James Caldwell said when she entered. "He believes you're avoiding him about an urgent family matter." "He's not wrong," Hannah replied. "But it's personal. Not work-related." James studied her carefully. "He mentioned a loan situation. A private financial decision that affects his business, not this firm," Hannah said. "He's trying to drag it into my career. It's not relevant." James nodded slowly. "Understood. The Willis merger is our priority. Your work is flawless, Hannah. That's what matters to us." As she left, her phone buzzed again. "Ryan." This time she answered. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" Ryan snapped the moment she answered. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" Ryan snapped the moment she answered. "You've put Dad in crisis mode. The bank is demanding $2 million in collateral by the end of the month." Hannah kept her voice calm. "That sounds like a business issue. Not my problem anymore." "Becca, seriously, Dad is furious. You blindsided him." "No," she replied. "He texted me to say I was no longer welcome. I just followed through. I won't be financially tied to people who want nothing to do with me." Ryan paused, then said more quietly, "Dad wants to meet. Tomorrow. Palmer House Hotel. Noon. I have a 1 o'clock meeting. I won't be late for it." "Fine," Ryan said. "Just give him 45 minutes. "Done," Hannah replied. The next day, Hannah arrived at the historic Palmer House Hotel in a gray power suit and a strand of pearls Jordan had given her. Her parents were already seated in the lounge. They looked up as she approached, her mother smiling tightly, her father stony-faced. "Hello," Hannah said. "I have 45 minutes. "This is a family emergency," her father said sharply. "It deserves more than 45 minutes. "You lost the right to demand my time," Hannah replied evenly. Her father leaned forward. "You've put us in a terrible position. The bank is demanding assets we can't easily access. We're being forced to sell properties at a loss." "Again," Hannah said calmly, "that's not my problem." Eleanor reached for her daughter's hand. "Sweetheart, your father didn't mean what he said. That text was crystal clear," Hannah interrupted. "Don't come. We're cutting ties." "Ryan agrees. I've got the receipts." Her father flushed. "You've never fit into this family's image. We're working with governors now. Investors. It's about perception." Hannah blinked. "You used me for my credit score and then discarded me. Why?" Her father shifted. "It was a business move." "You lied to the bank," she said. Jennifer noticed the timing. "Overextended, weren't you?" Her father said nothing. Her mother looked horrified. Just then Ryan walked in. "Sorry I'm late," he said, sliding into the chair beside Hannah. "You didn't tell Mom I was coming, did you?" Hannah asked. Her mother looked confused. "You didn't know?" Hannah turned to Ryan. "Why are you here?" Ryan exhaled. "Because this has gone too far. I found out about your removal from the loan the same time you did, when Mom read your reply out loud at dinner. I didn't agree to cut you off, Becca. I never would have." Hannah's face softened. "Then why didn't you call?" "I should have," he admitted. "I was dealing with investors. But you deserve better." Their father looked disgusted. "This is nonsense. Reinstate the loan and we'll move on." "No," Hannah said. "I'm not reinstating anything." "Then you're destroying everything we've built," her father snapped. Ryan put a hand on the table. "Dad, stop. I had finance pull the records. Becca's signature appears on 2 other loans, 2020 and 2021. Equipment financing and a line of credit." Hannah's breath caught. "I didn't sign those." Ryan slid copies toward her. The handwriting looked similar, but she immediately spotted differences. "These are forgeries." Her father looked away. "It was necessary." "It's fraud," Hannah said. "Criminal fraud." Ryan nodded. "And that's why removing yourself from the current loan was the right move. I'm working on clearing your name quietly." Her father's face turned red. "You went behind my back?" "I did what you should have done," Ryan said. "I protected my sister." Hannah's voice dropped. "Why now, Ryan? Why are you standing up for me?" Ryan looked at her seriously. "Because I'm going to be a father. And I don't want my child growing up in a family built on guilt and control. I want to break the cycle." Hannah felt something shift inside her. Maybe for the first time she saw her brother as separate from their father's shadow. Her mother whispered, "Harold, is it true? You forged her name." He didn't answer. He just stood and walked away. As their parents left, Eleanor glanced back. "I didn't know," she said softly. "I believe you," Hannah replied. He turned to Ryan. "So, what happens now?" Ryan looked weary. "I'm going to fix the paperwork. Make things right." "Good," she said. "But I'm not ready to come back into the family." "That's fair," Ryan nodded. "I'll be in Chicago next month. Caroline and I want to take you and Jordan out." Hannah managed a smile. "I'd like that." She stood up, checked her watch. "I've got a meeting. And I've got cleanup to do," Ryan said, gathering his things. "Becca." She paused. "I'm really sorry. For all of it." 3 months passed. Brooks and Company secured alternative financing, this time without Hannah's credit. Her father's threats disappeared once his attorneys saw the forgeries and the risk of criminal exposure. Her mother called once, saying she was staying with her sister in Connecticut. "I need time to think," she told Hannah. "You were right. We failed you." It wasn't a perfect apology, but it was a start. Ryan kept in touch. Slowly they were building something real. He and Caroline visited Chicago. "She thinks you're brilliant," Ryan said after dinner. "And she's right." At work, Hannah's promotion to partner was formally announced. Her photo went up on the firm's website. Hannah Brooks, senior partner. But it wasn't the title that changed her. It was the freedom. Weekly therapy sessions helped her unpack years of trauma and conditional love. "You can't rewrite the past," her therapist told her. "But you can decide what comes next." That clarity guided her through every new step. One of those steps came the night Jordan took her to the lakefront and proposed, the sunset glowing behind him. "Yes," she whispered without hesitation. For the first time, Hannah was building a life on her own terms, with people who saw her value. The following week, she received flowers from her mother with a note. "If you want me at the wedding, I'd be honored to come." Her father remained silent, and oddly, that silence brought peace. As she sat on the balcony with Jordan, sipping wine and watching the city light up, he asked, "Will you invite him?" Hannah considered it for a long moment. "I'm not sure," she admitted. "But I know one thing. My life isn't built on chasing his approval anymore." Jordan smiled. "Whatever you decide, I'm behind you." She leaned back and exhaled. The truth settled warmly inside her. She had finally stepped out of the shadows of expectation and into the light of self-worth. Moral lesson. You don't owe loyalty to people who only value you when you're useful to them. True family is built on respect, not obligation. And choosing yourself is not selfish, it's survival. Remember to hit the like button, comment and subscribe to this channel for more of this.